If the goal is to provide the best possible information to viewers and listeners, how can you do that with only 2 candidates being given time to speak? You do have to have some criteria, though, don't you? Well, of course. And the CPD has 3 criteria. In order to be included, a candidate, number 1, must meet the constitutional requirements to be elected president. Understandable. Why allow someone to debate if they can't legally become president? Number 2, they must be on the ballot in enough states to win the Electoral College. Again, understandable. If a candidate cannot mathematically win, there's no reason to put them in a national debate. But then there's number 3. They must have received at least 15% support in 5 national polls. Well, that one is much less reasonable. But that 15% support rule is fairly new. In fact, how the CPD came into existence is pretty interesting. In 1976, 1980, and 1984, the League of Women Voters moderated presidential debates. They then walked away from it, saying that the demands of the 2 parties, Republican and Democrat, would perpetuate a fraud on the American people. The CPD, the Commission on Presidential Debates, as we know it today, was then formed by the Republican and Democrat parties. The commission is headed up by Frank Fahrenkopf, a former head of the Republican National Committee, and former Clinton White House Press Secretary Michael D. McCurry. So let's be clear, a debate commission that's run by former bigwigs from the Republican and Democrat parties and creates a 15% polling rule in 5 national polls isn't trying to create inclusion, they're trying to prevent it. If you don't have the money of the 2 big parties getting your name out nationally to get into those polls, well, it can only happen if you're a billionaire like Ross Perot. Aside from billionaires, no one else has a chance.
And then you talk about the Presidential Debates Commission, supposedly neutral, nonsense. They're absolutely controlled completely by Republicans and Democrats. The former party chairs are now on the commission, and they have brilliantly, from a merchandising standpoint, protected competition just to the 2 of them. And they have made the entry level so high it couldn't possibly be reached by anybody. 15% as an average of 5 national polls. They don't even tell you which polls, so if you actually do that, they can say, well, it wasn't this poll, it was that one. It's brilliant for everybody as far as they are concerned, except the American people. And the American people are losing. We're having to take litigation against them. I think eventually we'll be successful. In this cycle, it's hard to tell. It's soon. We're within weeks now of the election. We have another debate next week for the president, a lost mine for the vice president. You just had Biden and you just had Paul Ryan, which, again, the people lost. I actually believe in the first presidential debate that Governor Gary Johnson won the debate just because they had no ideas from the Republicans and Democrats, Obama, Romney. What they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on is showing how inept the other one is, and honestly, we agree with both of them. They are inept. We have the ideas.
The debate.
But you're blocking traffic, so you refuse to move.
Our First Amendment rights. Thank you.
Remove them, bring them back to the room.
Yeah, would you step up, please? Stand up.
We'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Watch the flag, please.
Thank you, ladies. Who's part of the... Thank you. Come with us. Just come with us.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys got to stay here. All right, everybody, we're going to ask you to please move back. We're going to
get this bus in, okay, guys?
Thank you.